This is Judy Woolley, top speed shooter, female. I can say that, top woman speed shooter. Yeah. What's the correct way to say that?
The 1990 and 1991 women's world speed shooting champion. Worked for Team Smith & Wesson.
It certainly works for me. There you go.
Okay.
Well, I'll introduce, and we'll,
That wasn't me.
yeah, and we'll have every loud car in the country come by while we're out here.
Trains, too.
True.
Well, friends, this is your cameraman, Johnny, for the shooting show. And we're here this afternoon with our good friend, Jerry Miculek. And also, Jerry has a lovely lady on his left. And Jerry, who's with us here today?
This is Judy Woolley. She's the Smith & Wesson team member. Let me do that again.
Of the female sort, you were going to say, or female type.
I didn't want to say that, but wait a minute.
Tell me, Judy, how many people are on your team? How many women are on your shooting team?
There's only one team, or one lady. I'll tell you, get that thing rolling.
3, 2, 1. Well, friends, this is your traveling cameraman today for the shooting show. We're very pleased to be down in the country below Shreveport, Louisiana, in Keithville, on the Clark Range, in fact, with our good friend Jerry Miculek. And Jerry has a lovely lady to his left with a similar uniform to what he's wearing. So, Jerry, tell us who this is.
This is Judy Woolley. She's the woman shooter on our team, and she's the reigning world champion woman speed shooter for the last 2 years. She's also the IPSC champion in the state of Montana for 2 years, and I'll turn it over to her now.
Thank you, Jerry. Hello, folks.
Well, Judy, tell us a little bit about what you're going to be doing in the near future.
Okay, this weekend we'll be going to a match in Dallas, and it's a regional tournament for the NSSF Chevy Truck Team Challenge. So Jerry Kay and I have been practicing the past few days and together, as it is a 3-person team event. I'll be shooting the middle portion of the pistol event, so I'm doing what's called the action portion. And that's what I've been practicing here the past couple days on these larger steel targets that we have set up. I'll be shooting actually a different gun than what I'm going to be showing you here, but this is a 9mm from the Smith & Wesson Performance Center. It is unloaded. It's different from standard Smith & Wessons in that it has a frame-mounted safety, more like the Colt-type firearm. It has 2 wood panel grips instead of the wraparound grip that comes on most standard guns. It's been lightened to be able to use really light loads very comfortably, and it has a Pro Point. It's an type of electronic sight that a lot of competitors are using. All it shows is when it's on, you just see a red dot through the tube. You put that on your target, and it doesn't have to be, the red dot doesn't have to be centered in the tube. Wherever the dot is, that should be where your bullet goes, provided you do things right. So it's a little faster and easier than lining up sights and going back and forth visually from the target to your sights.
Well, that sort of sight is really gaining popularity throughout the action shooting games, aren't they?
Yeah, definitely. I've got them on several of my guns right now, and I'm enjoying using them.
Well, now here's another question for you. Can the folks at home who see this, can they order a gun similar to that from the Smith & Wesson Performance Center?
Similar, yes. Not quite like it. The team has gone with, we're pretty particular about what type of firearms we like to use in competition, as most competitors are. So it has modifications that are available, really a few that are available only to the team members, probably for liability reasons, I would assume. So this is, you can get something real close to this though, and from the Performance Center.
Well, Judy, let me back up for a moment and ask you, let me ask you, how did you get started in competition shooting?
Okay, I started competition shooting, let's see, in 1985 when my husband, whom I'd been pushing to start take up a new hobby, decided that he wanted to go wild boar hunting with a handgun. And he figured the best way to find out that his firearm worked flawlessly was to get into competition and test it out. And I thought if he was going to get ammunition, I should get ammunition for myself also and have the opportunity to do some handgun shooting. So I started in '85 with a 4-inch Ruger Security 6, and following year went to a 6-inch L-frame, which is a gun that Smith & Wesson makes, and then went through a series of semi-automatics until this past year when I signed a contract with Smith & Wesson and now shoot strictly Smith & Wesson handguns.
Well, we're so glad that you could be here with us, and I'm going to stand up and take a view of some of the things we'll be shooting in just a few moments. You'll be shooting some steel targets for us, I believe.
Yeah, the 12-inch steel plates that we have set up here. There's a field of 10 plates. And at this competition, we don't do any shooting from the holster, which we do a lot in competition. This is strictly where it's a tag team event where we'll have to tag a start signal. Jerry will proceed to his portion of the event where he'll have to fire a minimum of 20 rounds on with a .22. Come back, tag the start signal again, then I'm able to go out and do my shooting, and I will have 10, they'll actually be knockdown targets of various sizes. When I'm done with that, we all have to unload and show clear too before we can leave our firearms on the table. Go back and tag the start signal for Kay Clark to go out and do her portion, which is at 35 yards, and it's a precision event that she has to do.
So the good news is this team event, you and Kay will be shooting with each other rather than against each other.
Yeah, and we enjoy that too. So everybody knows. Kay and I feel Kay's a good friend, and it's been a lot of fun meeting her and knowing her and getting to shoot with her and against her. We both want to see each other do our best, and we both want to beat each other at our best.
Certainly. Well, I do want to mention here this wonderful Louisiana weather we have. Aren't you enjoying our nice sunshine here in Louisiana since you're from Montana? Of course, it's severely cold up there compared to us.
Nah. It's actually, this time of year we're actually still about as warm as down here. It's just quite a bit drier. So it's more comfortable type of heat.
Well, we're certainly pleased to have the opportunity to come down and be with you folks today, and I know we're going to enjoy watching you shoot.
Okay, well, thank you. On Saturday, we have to shoot .22 rifles, shotguns in a variety of situations, and our handguns. So we have to work on our versatility also.
Well, we would like to add, and I think that Mike's been picking it up, and if we use this, fine. If it turns out, I think it will. Of course, folks, let me mention again Jerry Miculek, whom we had on our programs earlier this year. And I think I can say this without qualification, the world's fastest revolver shooter. And we were just talking a moment ago, when Jerry first started attending national matches, when he walked up to the line with his revolver, I mean, I'm sure there were people who said, oh, well, wait a minute. But he has certainly proven what can be done with a whole lot of skill and a tremendous amount of determination. Well, sir, what have been the high points of this past year since we've seen you?
Well, we've done a bunch of demos over there in Bisley, England. It went well. We had a big turnout. We were shooting for about 1,000 people a day. And it went really great.
Well, I'm sure that was fun enough.
It was different, yeah.
Well, I believe you unofficially eclipsed one of Ed McGivern's records over there. Am I correct on that?
Correct.
Well, sir, hopefully we can get you up here and shoot a little bit for us today. We're certainly looking forward to it.
Okay.
And again, so glad to have you with us today, Jerry.
Thank you. Do it.
We can do that.
Let me start you on the time. That way we get it on its spot.
Okay, now I can step behind her also. We have to have one of these microphones because the gunfire kills.
Okay.
And boy, these here will do it. So. Heck, we probably played music loud and dusty. Yeah.
Yeah.
Never enjoyed it playing that loud, but those clouds will just stay. That's great.
A little lower than the barrel.
Would you rather use a barrel?
No, that's fine.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, where are you?
Okay, shoot ready. Stand by. Okay, that was 15-9. Shooter ready? Stand by. 10.7 seconds. That's
Now this is Judy's 10mm pistol she's using right now, and it has a dot-type sight. It also has a hybrid compensator system on it, and it's really going to be interesting. Judy's one of the few people who are using the 10, but as we were talking earlier, it certainly works for her.
Okay.
shooter ready. Stand by. $11.2.
Later trigger? Yes.
Okay, we're on.
Okay, what we're going to do next here is shoot the 22 segment of the National Shooting Sports Foundation team match, also known as the Chevy Truck Challenge. What we have here is a Ruger 1022 that's been reworked by Jim Clark Jr. What we have is a Douglas barrel, a premium air gauge barrel, and a super trigger job. And these guns are pretty much capable of shooting under an inch at 100 yards, and which is good because some of our targets is really about a 1-inch target at 90 yards offhand. All they're shooting is offhand. And Judy's also has a Clark Ruger 1022. And what we're going to do now is go ahead and load as we would shoot the team match, and we're going to shoot the 45-yard line, which is the close segment, just to show you basically how it's done. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. I'm just going to start it with the timer. Ready? Okay. That's not what I want. Okay. Okay. That was okay. Part of the rules on this match is there's no more than 2 magazines loaded with 10 rounds apiece. But you can have as many rounds of loose ammunition you want. You just have to load them after you have an empty magazine. The whole course of fire is 40 targets. You have 40 targets to hit up to 90 yards away, and the total time limit is 1 minute and 45 seconds.
The targets are a variety of sizes, and what we actually have to do is shoot through apertures to knock the targets over. They'll be color-coded at the match where we'll get different point values. The tougher the targets, the higher the point value. So it's a real challenge. All of it's done offhand, no slings allowed.
Well, now, what about your ammunition? Are you using standard 22 long rifle ammunition or what?
Correct. Usually in a match we'll shoot Ely 10X, which is a super match grade ammunition. At 90 yards you have to have ammunition at a group very consistently, and Ely is about the only one we found to really work out that well.
All right, well, we're going to shoot these targets at this moment. Let me rephrase that. Jerry and Judy will shoot the targets. Woolley is the cameraman here back in the background, so I think you're really going to enjoy it.
We're going to run the short line again. You start with your rifles, safety off, action open, land on the table. And when the timer goes off, you have to pick it up, of course, and charge it, and then shoot your banks of targets. Let's see how it looks. Okay. All right.
Thanks, Jeff.
You know, they were gone before I got zoomed in.
I'll set them up and you can zoom in on them before we start.
Okay, all right. I'm ready when you are.
Okay. Here we go.
wasn't quite as good.